Yes. I'm going to call to order the Board of Equalization special meeting today. It's Friday, May 24th, 2024. It's 9:30 a.m. Notice of this meeting was properly posted on May the 21st. We have a full house. Mr. Brett Town.
Present.
Ms. Teresa Sellers.
Present.
And I'm Eleanor Thompson. Item 1 on the agenda, discussion and possible action regarding our minutes of May 14th, May 15th, May 16th, May 20th, and May 21st.
Move approval of agenda item number 1, minutes of meetings as presented.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Did we pull any off of this one? No, okay. So item 2, BOE number 449. And I'm going to skip the legal description because we need for Brett to be here for all of these. So on BOE 449, the assessor was at $272,644, and Mr. Heck, well, whoever had this other, this was the man that wanted a ag. And is this the little man from Choctaw?
Yes.
Lawyer, yes.
Okay, so item 2 is BOE 449. Item 3 is BOE 450. Item 4, BOE 451. Item 5, BOE 452. Item 6, 452. Item 7, 453.
We have 452 twice.
Yeah, we do. Okay, so then item 8, 454. So we do 449, 450, BOE 451, 452, 453, and 454 all belong to Mr. Boyd. I got all his. And for each one of those, there's a designation request for agriculture. There's no dispute on valuation. And I actually went out and looked at this property, and I would not vote to grant him the designation of agriculture. This is heavy industrial. It's right in the middle of Choctaw City operations, and he bought this property from the city when they gave up their operations. It's heavy industrial. There are no cows out there. There are no sheep out there. There's not a blade of grass out there. That's my 2 cents.
Well, I felt like that, everything that you described, plus the fact that he requested for this area to be rezoned heavy industry, and he also has it advertised for sale as an industrial site.
$4 million.
So I feel the same way. I don't know, Teresa.
I agree.
Any comments? Okay.
No, I agree with both of you.
So I'd like to move on agenda item number 2, that we uphold the assessor's value at $272,644 and reject the taxpayer's claim that this is agriculture property.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. I make the same motion for BOE number 450. Can I get a second? Oh, I'm sorry. The valuation for the assessor's $26,639. Sorry about that.
Agenda item number 3, BOE 450. I move that we approve the assessor's valuation of $26,639 and deny the taxpayer's request to change this to agriculture property.
I'll second.
All in favor? Aye. Next item on the agenda was BOE 451. We have the same issue. The assessor's valuation, I believe, $8,768. Okay.
Again, move approval of, or move on agenda item number 4, BOE 451, to set the fair market value of this, or to accept the fair market value presented by the assessor at as $8,768, and deny the taxpayer's request to have this changed to agriculture.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is BOE 452. The assessor's valuation was $22,952.
BOE 452, move to approve the assessor's valuation of $22,952 and deny the taxpayer's request to change this to agriculture.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next is item BOE 453, part of the same issue. The assessor's valuation, $21,946.
Again, move to approve the assessor's valuation at $21,946 and deny the taxpayer's request to have this changed to agriculture.
A second.
All in favor? Aye. And finally, BOE 454, the assessor's valuation, $98,400.
BOE 454, move to approve the assessor's valuation of $98,400 and deny the taxpayer's request to change this to agriculture.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. So the next item on the agenda, leaving Mr. Boyer's property, Tuesday, May the 21st, BOE number 396. The assessor has this at $210,500, and Mr. Hayes wanted $195,700. And I didn't see any reason to reject the assessor's valuation. Mr. Hayes offered for his comps 3 duplexes, which were rejected by the assessor.
Yeah, I thought the assessor's comps were all really good, and the valuation over 2023 both supported the 210,500, so I'm good with that.
I agree.
So,
Go ahead.
you want me to start? I'll make a motion on BOE 396, item number 9 on the agenda, to set the fair market value at $210,500.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, the next item would be BOE number 401. 8716 Tracy Drive. The assessor is at $192,500. And Mr. Hayes must not have offered anything on this one because the paperwork showed $162,000.
Right, he had no response or no new value on this one. I thought the assessor's valuation at $192,500 was more than fair. It's below the median and the mean significantly.
We need to consider at some point whether we want to raise some of these because the median and mean were $203,982 and $204,514, which is the request for $192,500. It's way under what they requested, but I'll accept it since that's what they asked for.
Yeah, I think on this one as well, because 4 of the comps were more than a half a mile away.
Oh,
Yeah.
So, based off of that, I'm good with the 192,500.
okay.
I'd like to move on BOE 401 and set the fair market value of this property at $192,500.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, BOE number 403, 909 Rolling Meadows Boulevard. The assessor is at $179,500 and Mr. Hayes wanted $173,000. Median and mean were $179,530 and $177,728.
Yeah, this one was a little bit challenging. He came up with his valuation based off of comps 1, 3, 4, and 6. All 6 comps were more than a half a mile away. They were less than a mile, but barely in some cases. And the mean on the assessor's original comps was 177, so it's less than what he's asking. 2023 valuation is less than what he's asking as well. So comp 6 was quite a bit smaller than the subject property. The subject property was 1,604. Comp 6 is 1,232.
It sold for $165,000 in June of 21, so 2.5 years.
Yeah. Yeah, 2023 valuation was at 166.
66.
But I believe the assessor said that he did rerun it using some of the taxpayer comps on this one. He used 4, but 2 of them had really big adjustments, and the median then came in at 190,000, which more than supported
The
the assessor's valuation.
And the mean was 181,766.
Yeah, do you have what the assessor's original median was?
179,530.
Okay, so that's where he came up with his valuation. So I could kind of go, I wouldn't go as low as what he's asking, but I think I had kind of looked at, for some reason I have a number of 178 on here. I think that was probably based off of the comps without that comp.
I feel like I could support lowering it to the mean, about like 177.7 or 177 or 178.
Yeah, rounding it up. I think that's what I had done as well. So I'm good with the 178 as well.
Well, I'd like to move on BOE 403 that we set the fair market value of this property at $178,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is BOE 405, 1109 Hazelwood. The assessor is at 177,000 and Mr. Hayes wanted 174. This had a June of 22 with a 70% remodel in 21. This was 120, must have been set by this board, the 2 terms previously.
Yeah, and that June of 2023 sale was for $237,500, and it was a valid sale.
Right.
So I thought based off of that sale alone, the $177,000 was well supported.
I agree.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion on BOE 405, item number 12 on the agenda to set the fair market value at $177,000.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, next item is BOE 408, 2632 Kingsway. The assessor is at 202,500. Mr. Hayes wanted 199,600. The median and mean was 226,702 and 210,132. So he's well below both the median and mean, and he used they used the 4 comps of the 6 offered by Mr. Hayes and got a median and mean of 211,024 and 211,512. So either way it got calculated, the 202.5 is well below anybody's median or mean.
I agree. I supported the assessor's valuation of 2025 on this.
I did as well.
So I'd like to move on BOE 408, agenda item 13, that we set the fair market value of this property at $202,500.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is BOE 409, 2231 Barclay Road. The assessor is at 168,000. Mr. Hayes was at 155,500. The assessor's initial median and mean were 177,714 and 173,98. He then reran using Mr. Hayes's comps and had a median of 162,339 and a mean of 165,032.
Yeah, I thought, I think Mr. Hayes's argument was using comps 3, 5, and 6, and he was assuming that the ones that he threw out or had an upgrade, he offered no proof of an upgrade. We can't really go with that, so I thought the assessor's valuation was fair on this one. Also, the purchase price from 2021 was $169,000. It's actually more than what the assessor's valuing it at, so I don't see any reason to lower it.
And comp 1 was just nearly identical, and it was valued at $200,000. So I thought the assessor's valuation was at least more than fair to the taxpayer.
Yeah.
So I will move on BOE 409, agenda item 14. We set the fair market value of this property at $168,000.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Next item on the agenda is BOE 410, 2005 Barrington Road. The assessor is at $216,000. Last year was at $208,500. Mr. Hayes must not have offered anything on this one.
He didn't.
He didn't.
Okay, and the median and mean were 229,079 and 219,570. So we're below on both of those.
Yeah, I thought the assessor's valuation was fair on this one. I believe he even looked at the tax, at Mr. Hayes's comps or Ryan's comps, but the adjustments were so large that it would have valued it even higher than what they were asking for. So both the comps and the 2023 valuation support the 216,000.
I agree. And then in absence of a new valuation, I think we need to accept the assessor. So I'll move on BOE 410, agenda item 15. We set the fair market value of this property at $216,000.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
The next item, start on Wednesday, BOE 411. This is a 1901 Sheffield Road in the village. The assessor, it was at $230,500 and said he would not disagree if it was lowered to $224,000. Mr. Hayes wants $211,500. What do you offer?
Which that's the mean of the assessors 2, 3, 4, and 5. He threw out 1 and 6. I didn't think that was totally appropriate to throw those out.
Mr. Hayes or the assessor?
Mr. Hayes threw out assessors 1 and 6. I felt 224 was a fair valuation of this property.
What do you think, Teresa?
Yeah, I think so. For some reason, I was looking at it, possibly throwing out comp 1. The only thing I can think is because of the square footage, the subject property was 1,095 and the square footage was 750, but it's not that much different to make it an invalid comp. So I'm good with what the assessor recommended, the 220,000.
Okay. Would you like to make a motion on that?
Sure. I will make a motion on BOE 411, item number 16 on the agenda, to set the fair market value at 224,000.
And I'll second that motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Let's go to agenda item number 17, BOE 412. This property at 1709 Pine Oak Drive in Edmond. The assessor's valuation request was $220,000. I didn't have a value from the taxpayer. Did you have one?
He had no records on this one.
Okay, that's right.
Other than his original comps. He
Yeah.
had nothing else to offer.
225 is lower than the median of 224,323 and the mean of 224,816. I felt like it was a fair valuation. This is the one I told you I tried to buy as a school district for about $150,000 4 years ago.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is the one that frustrated me.
Yeah, I've been driving property values up in that area, or I did. So, is there a motion?
Yeah, I make a motion on BOE 412, item number 17 on the agenda, to set the fair market value at $220,500.
And I'll second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Keep going. Okay, motion passes. Okay. Agenda item number 18, BOE 413. We agreed on that one, didn't we?
Yeah, we're on 414.
414. Okay. Agenda item 19, BOE 414.
Hang on just a second. Did you get that 413 we had already agreed on?
Yeah, I put it in the agenda before
Oh, okay.
to have it ready for Friday.
So, but we don't have to take any action. We're just going to acknowledge that we previously approved that. Okay, agenda item 19, BOE 414, the assessor is requesting $220,000. I do not have a valuation from the taxpayer, a new one, other than the original of $207,400.
Yeah, I had that the assessor had provided a new value of $220,000 based off of some new comps that he ran using some of the taxpayer comps. And I thought both those comps as well as the 2023 valuation supported that 220,000.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion on BOE 414, item number 19 on the agenda to set the fair market value at 220,000.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Let's see, agenda item 415. Okay, agenda item number 20, BOE 415. Property located at 1632 Hollowbrook in Edmond, Settlers Crossing area. Assessor valuation of $330,000. Taxpayer request of $326,000. The assessor's median was $329,272. The mean was $336,065.
Yeah, there was a couple of comps, 5 and 6, that were a little bit larger and smaller than the subject property, but it wasn't enough for me to throw them out as Mr. Hayes suggested doing. So I'm good. And also, if I recall, this is 415, yeah,
He used
the assessor used
4.
4 of the taxpayer comps on this one, so I'm good with
Right.
the 330,000.
Is there a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion on BOE 415, item number 20 on the agenda to set the fair market value at 330,000.
I'll second that. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Into agenda item 21, BOE 416, property at 8113 Greenway in Oklahoma City. I think we agreed, we just say we agreed to that one, correct?
Yes.
Okay. So BOE 417, agenda item 22 at 13524 Gramercy Place. Assessor valuation of $321,500. New valuation from the taxpayer of $315,000. Median for the assessor's office was $324,125. The mean $328,364. I'll say the board.
Yeah, Mr. Hayes used mean of 5 of them, and he was at 315.
Yeah, he threw out comp 6
Six.
because he thought that it had perhaps been upgraded. It was valued quite a bit higher than all the rest of the properties at 393,000. But let's see, the median without comp 6 actually comes in at 321,000. So I think based off of that, I'm good with the assessor's valuation of 321,500.
Okay. Governor?
I agree.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Yes, I'll make a motion on BOE 417, item number 22 on the agenda to set the fair market value at $321,500.
A second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Let's see, agenda item 23, BOE 418, we have previously settled. Agenda item number 24, BOE 419, 8813 Northwest 71st in Oklahoma City. The assessor has a valuation of $290,000 during the hearing. The taxpayer said his valuation of $283,000. Assessor's mean is $286,808 as a median, $288,686 as the mean. What to say the board?
So the assessor reran it with 9 comps in the area and came up with a new median of 289 and a mean of 296 something. And he said that he would agree to a 290,000, but I think we need to just drop it one more thousand and go with 289, which seems to match his median, as well as the mean of his original comps that he had.
And as I looked at this, I thought comp 6 was just a little bit of an outlier. And when I ran it without that, it was 286. So I was looking at lowering it anyway, but I can certainly agree on 289.
Okay.
So I'll make a motion. I think the chair can still do that, correct?
Sure.
I'd like to move on BOE 419 that we set the fair market value of this property at $289,000.
A second.
Okay.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Okay, agenda item 25, BOE 420, property located at 15520 Boulder Drive in Edmond. The assessor's valuation is $305,500. I don't have a valuation from the taxpayer.
He didn't offer anything. The paperwork was 285,600.
Okay, so absent valuation by the taxpayer beyond their original one, I'm good with 3055.
I am too.
Yeah, I was good with that. The only thing that was questionable was comp 6 was 1,500 square feet, a little bit smaller, but even without that comp, it still supports the valuation,
Right.
so.
I tossed 6 and I still came up with 312. So I
Me
feel
as
like
well.
Right.
Yeah, so I'll make a motion on BOE 420, item number 25 on the agenda to set the fair market value at $305,500.
I second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes.
421.
Agenda item 26, BOE 421, the property located at 2716 Northwest 41st Street in Oklahoma City. Assessor valuation of $139,000, taxpayer value of $133,000. Assessor's median was $141,753. The assessor's mean was $141,624.
Yeah, so the assessor reran the comps using all of the comps provided by the taxpayer except for their comp 1, and the mean still supported his valuation. The only thing that was questionable, 4 of the 5 properties were more than a half a mile, but not much more than a half a mile away. But I think even the taxpayer comps without comp 1 supported it. 2023 valuation comes in a little bit lower. But I think the fact that he reran with the taxpayer comps sold me on it, so I'm good with his valuation. Actually, there was even a 2023 sale, it looks like, at $143,000. So based off of that, I'm good with the 139.
Okay.
I'll make a motion on BOE 421, item number 26 on the agenda to set the fair market value at $139,000.
Second.
Oh.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Motion passes. Okay. Now we'll go to BOE 422, agenda item 27, property located at 10105 Island View in Oklahoma City. The assessor's valuation is $199,500. Taxpayer is at $197,500. The assessor's median is $199,001. The assessor's mean is $197,507. I looked at this and I thought maybe we could go with the mean, which would be the taxpayer's valuation request as well, $197,500. I don't know what you all think. It's kind of a hard area. This is Ski Island.
Ski Island. He used comps 1, 2, and 6. I always get nervous when he gets picky about the comps that he uses. Because he goes at it from the assessor deliberately picked a comp to raise it.
Yeah, but in this point, in this particular instance, it just coincidentally, what the comps, just those 3 comps
1, 2,
also
6.
match the mean of the assessor's original 6 comps.
197?
Yeah, that's what the assessor's original mean was. The only hesitation I have on it is the valuation over 2023 comes in at $203,446, which more than supports it. The assessor was going with using his median, but his median was 199.1. So I'm not sure why he bumped it up to 199.5, but I'm good either way. The comps, the assessor's 6 comps I'm trying not to use the means when there's big differences in the comps. They range between 181 and 203,000, 209,000 it looks like.
I thought that was a pretty narrow range for this area.
Yeah, so based off of that, I'm good with the 197.5.
Is there a motion?
So I'll make a motion on BOE 422, item number 27 on the agenda to set the fair market value at $197,500.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Okay. Motion passes. Okay. BOE 423, agenda item 28, property located at 3009 Shady Brook Drive, Oklahoma City. The assessor is at $238,000.
Mr. Hayes offered nothing on this one.
There was no new valuation offered by the taxpayer. They had original valuation of $218,400. The assessor's median was $238,237. The mean was $239,649.
Yeah, and 3 of the assessor's comps were also provided by
Mr. Hayes.
Mr. Hayes or by Ryan. So I'm the 2023 valuation as well as his comps support the 238,000. So I was good with that.
I agree.
Okay.
I'll make a motion on BOE 423, item number 28 on the agenda to set the fair market value at 238,000.
Second.
Okay. All those in favor, say
Aye.
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 All right. 23. Agenda item 29, BOE 424. Property located at 105 West Michael Drive in Midwest City. Assessor's valuation of $121,000. Taxpayer valuation of $117,500. The assessor's mean is $119,628. Median, I'm sorry. The mean is $124,905.
And it was 115,023.
What was the assessor's median on this one?
119,628, and the mean was 124,905.
Okay, so he kind of fell in between these.
Between the two.
Okay, the 2023 valuation came in at 122,800. So I think based off of that, I'm good with 121 that the assessor is
I
recommending.
am too.
I'm good.
So I'll make a motion on BOE 424, item number 29 on the agenda to set the fair market value at 121,000.
Second.
All those in favor, signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion passes. Agenda item 30, BOE 425. Property located at 2009 North Keaton Avenue in Bethany. The assessor's valuation is $161,500. New value for the taxpayer is $160,000. The assessor's mean is $168,614. The assessor's median is $166,588.
Yeah, he was 152 the year before and 134 before that. Mr. Hayes has tossed one comp. He used 1, 2,
3 and 4.
3, 4.
He threw comps 5 and 6 out.
5.
Yeah. 6. Small. I didn't really agree with his arguments for throwing those out. If anything, I was looking at comp 1. It's not that much larger. So comp 6 is 1,525 square feet compared to 1,087, which was the subject property. Let me see what it is if I just look at 1 through 5. Comes at 162,000, so I'm good with 161,500.
I am too.
Okay.
I'll make a motion on BOE 425, item number 30, to set the fair market value at 161,500.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay. So that concludes our agenda for today. Are there any board comments or comments from the crowd? Okay. Seeing none, I'll entertain a motion to adjourn.
I vote that we adjourn the meeting.
A second.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.